Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Chemda, it's a big day for Detroit, Michigan. Hello, folks. Let me tell you something. I just saw the greatest football game that ever happened in the history of football. You probably did too, dear listener. It was Sunday's game. Detroit, who was 0-8, lost every single game they played this season against
You would
Pittsburgh
think they
Steelers.
can't keep playing. You could just keep playing when you lose.
There should be a mercy rule. So these two teams played, and Pittsburgh has a history of just losing it against the worst teams. This game was so shockingly bad. I put on the Benny Hill music. It did get better to watch. This went into overtime, 16-16. It went back and forth in overtime 47 times, not exaggerating. This was the craziest, dumbest, goofiest game I've ever seen. I can't help but think after it ties at the end of all this.
Stop it.
Yes.
That's allowed?
That you could, if push comes to push. Yeah. And so now when you're Detroit, when the coach isn't looking,
there's not even like this is too many times to run down such a big field and get hit in the head. There's not that rule.
No, they did seem dumber and dumber. You're right. The brain did need a rest. But like, do they high five each other when the coach isn't looking? Like, fuck yeah, tie. Because you can't enjoy it out loud, but it's got to feel good. Now they call it, they just had a non-loss, they call it.
What?
So they broke their losing streak, but they legally can't call it a win.
Oh, they had an uncoupling. Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we get our gifts back? Like, do you get 10% off your old gear if you bring your receipt if they didn't win something that's goofy? Are there laws like that? Shouldn't there be?
This is what the announcers were saying. They're like, whoever you're rooting for, nobody wanted this. They're ready to go home. They're like, does nobody want to win?
And it'd be funny if the announcers get paid per game and they're like, we're going into overtime and I'm not getting paid for this at all. I'm still calling a game.
So I guess Detroit's having one of those ticker tape parades today. So congratulations and shame on Pittsburgh. All right, big announcements this week. Holy shit. All right, I'm going to rip apart Kerry Gravenson, Will Winner, Catherine Heller, Mark DeMeo, Patrick Schroeder. You know what I'm talking about. Silent Trailers, the greatest game show ever made, right? Get your ticket. It's this Saturday. Chemda,
sorry.
It's this Saturday.
Our guest was very concerned when you were giving your kill list. Like, oh, Kerry Gravenson. Oh, boy. And then you said Silent Trainer. He's like, oh, yeah. Keith just looks like a murderer. But
thank you. Well, that's sweet to say. You know, every time Kyle says, oh, you're sweet, you're cute, I'm like, badass, but thank you. Keith and the Girl VIPs. Check your dashboard for your free ticket and discount backstage ticket as well. Go to keithandthegirl.com/tickets for details and to reserve your virtual seats. What else is going on? I'll be destroying people in poker tonight. That happens. What day's today? I don't even know what day today is. On Wednesday, every Wednesday, we meet in the chat. We play poker. Okay, so you could show up. I can destroy you if you just want to chat because me destroying you is humiliating. You can do that as well. I understand the way I play poker can fuck you up. Anyway, what else? We posted a new video on our Kickstarter page. Check out the new video by going to keithandthegirl.com/kick. That's it. Thanks for supporting the show by watching the video. The link again, brand new video, keithandthegirl.com/kick, KICK. Now, today's guest.
You already heard him giggle.
You heard him giggle. You probably saw him on the app and you're like, we didn't even start and you need to change your pants. And I don't blame you. He's the host of the podcast. The podcast is called Risk. You know, Chemda and I have performed on it. It's stories that you're like, what planet is this? I live with these people, you know, all that. He's a member of the state. You want to get the book, The Risk, by the way, The Risk book. And I got that. Wow, one story creepier than the next. He also works at the Story Studio. You can check out thestorystudio.org if you want to learn how do you tell great stories like these people do on his podcast. He'll teach you. He'll tell you where you go to get your balls wrapped tight and shoelace so you have a good story. It's full service. Here he is. It's his 17th appearance on Keith and the Girl, by the way. If you want a full interview of his life, check out show 2863, My Opening Line with Kevin Allison. Ladies, gentlemen, human animals, lizard people, whatever you got going on, please welcome Kevin Allison.
Hello.
Hello, Kevin.
It's good to be here.
It's good to see you. It's good to see
you. Oh
you.
my gosh.
A lot to get to. Your personal life, of course, we have to get to. News, we need your take, okay? So I don't mean to put you to work right away, but you ready for this?
Yeah, well, I will tell you, I've been on a news blackout for the past week. I have deliberately not seen the news, so you're going to be giving it to me.
And what this is like, you're in AA and I'm saying, should we go to the bar? Is it okay if we go over these news stories? I don't know.
No, I think I'll be able to handle it as long as they're not tweets.
Okay, that's fair. We'll leave your tweets alone today. What has your life? It's only been a week. Do you feel freer not checking the news?
I really do. I mean, of course, it's the responsible thing to do to keep on top of the news. But it's also responsible to occasionally just detox, step away for a while and then figure out how exactly you want to come back. Definitely not Twitter. I don't want to be, I don't want to use Twitter that way anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Twitter only for saying nice things and getting the fuck out of there.
I think that's their new slogan, right?
Say nice things, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
We're Twitter.
I saw a friend of mine was on a TV show. I go, a great job on the show. I liked your outfit. And then I threw my phone right in the toilet.
Yeah.
I don't want anything out. Maybe he'll take her wrong. Just end it. I did what I can do.
Now, Keith alluded to tying shoelaces around balls. Was that you or you did that to someone? Somebody tied strings around your balls, right?
Yes, that's the very first story I ever told on Risk. Yeah, someone made me tie shoes to my balls. This is before I even knew anything about kinkiness or what. I was 18 years old. Yeah.
So that's the start of your kink. And here's what's interesting. 1 week without the news and you feel free, and it's a pain-free world. But this is this man knows pain. That's how much the news is hurtful. You'd rather have shoelaces around your balls without knowing what you're doing than watch and listen to the news for all week. All right, buckle in, get your barf bag, have some water or urine, whatever. Everybody's juice is their juice. And let's get this done, Keith. As long as he doesn't say, here's some fun news, we'll be okay. Whenever he says fun news, we're in trouble. Let's see.
Kevin would read before this. Kevin would read the news, be so disgusted. He'd be like, I got to go somewhere where they kick me in the nuts and shove watermelon on my asshole. Just to cleanse. That's how this guy cleansed the news. Is so weird. So let's understand, everybody, what we take in, day out. Okay. It's a lot.
It is.
All right. Perhaps you heard about the Travis Scott concert. 9 people dead now at Astro World. This is in Houston. And they're looking into I don't know how they would prove this. Did Travis Scott, while he was performing, see everybody dying, hundreds of people getting injured and fighting, people climbing fences to get into this concert, and it was overrun. He says he didn't see anything, even with him being so high on top on a platform looking down. Now, some fun news that's happening right now.
Oh, no.
Shit.
W Magazine had Travis Scott and Kylie Jenner on the cover, and right now they're scrambling to stop delivery trucks from delivering the already printed books, the already printed magazines.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Editors are in a tizzy following the Astroworld tragedy where 9 people died and hundreds were injured during Scott's performance. A rep for W explained the issue was shot prior to Astroworld and already went to print. W editors have cleared and planned coverage of Travis and Kylie from their website, but the magazine was already printed, and now they're trying to stop the delivery trucks. The interview and cover lines seem inappropriate. I want to know what the cover lines are. Travis Scott killing it. No, we got these guys are crushing. No.
Travis Scott ignoring whatever's happening out there amongst the crowd.
Right. Let me ask you this, Kevin, not following the news for a week. Do you go outside not knowing the latest with the vaccine and masks? Is every day an adventure? What are people up to?
I wrote to my doctor and said, like not checking the news. Can I get a booster? I think I can get a booster. I think anyone who's got the J&J, because I got the one and done, which they say is a little bit less effective.
Right.
So I think all of us are eligible. So I'm going to be getting it soon. But you know what? I've grown very used to masks, to wearing masks outside, even if I'm just walking around.
You like it?
Yeah, I don't. I'm okay with it still,
Right.
I'm erring on the side of caution. Although I did see David Byrne's show on Broadway. What was it? Thursday night.
And the days go by. Is that him?
Yeah, that was a little funky because there are times in the show when the audience gets up to dance, and when they're dancing, they kind of want to take off their masks, and it starts to feel a little bit like
you're allowed to take your mask off when you're dancing and when you're eating and when you're drinking.
Right. And
virus
it just seems like, right.
It's respectful. I'm reading this right now. Social media is claiming that if you got the vaccine and you're nervous about it because you're hearing, how there's nanobots in it and whatnot, you could supposedly get rid of it by taking a bath in borax. Borax is a cleaner. It's also used in paint, toothpaste, some different things. But people are claiming you can get rid of it if you made the big mistake because you followed the news.
I see. So, but wait, borax is like paint remover?
They put it in paint. They also put it in toothpaste. They put it in sunscreen. Most of us use it as a cleaner, I believe.
Isn't this the thing that you really need to watch out because it could eat layers of your skin because it's a harsh.
Right. I just know doctors aren't saying to use it, but people are, and that's where you get your medical advice.
And they're actually doing that?
Yeah. No, they take.
By the way, it's a new thing that I've heard. A lot of the people who say don't get vaccinated also say that sunscreen causes skin cancer. So
let's see. The substance will not. There. The CDC has to say that the substance will not remove a COVID-19 vaccine from a person's body. This article says NBC News, Market Watch, and doctor said, yeah, but NBC News, liberal. Market Watch, it's all about the money. And doctors, I don't know, Doctor Who, Dr. Feelgood, Dr. Bombay. I don't know who anybody's talking about. Grab the borax, give yourself a wash.
Right. The funny thing about all of these alternate cures, when people are like, follow the money, it's like, right. Yeah, well, like, doesn't someone get money out of borax?
Right.
Or ivermectin or whatever?
Right. Or the zoo. I mean, somebody's making money. Think about it.
This reminds me of, do you remember it was a show, some kind of gypsy thing, and they followed these Irish gypsies. And I don't know if you're allowed to say gypsy anymore, so I keep repeating the word gypsy. But anyway,
until I figure it out.
It was in the title of the show, I believe. And yeah, they would have these extravagant weddings, but they would pretty much broke.
That was it. My big fat gypsy wedding.
It was? Okay. Yeah. So I remember this one woman was like, she loved cleaning. And she's like, and forget teeth whitening. You shouldn't spend your money on that. I do my teeth bleaching by myself. And she takes out a bleach. Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes.
And swishes it?
She swishes it.
Oh, no.
On camera. Like, what's the big deal, bros? I clean my toilet. I clean my teeth. And
ooh.
Wow. And you just are like, how does that, like, is there a countdown to how much you can ingest by accident? Because she's swishing it and spitting it, but some of it is left, and the just misunderstanding so hard. This reminds me of that. Is there
how don't you intervene? Like that's you should get hazard some kind of hazard pay, whatever you want to call it. But if I'm in a camera and you really don't want me to intervene, I don't know when this is going to turn into a lawsuit. I'd be like, I'm not gonna tape you swishing your teeth with bleach. I really want to. It's just not my thing. Now you decide where you want to go from there. But I don't know, when does it become a lawsuit?
Oof. Right. Yeah. You're doing a documentary style thing, so you can't interrupt people's lives. But she's drinking bleach. Oh, God. Anyway, she looked lovely on her wedding day.
Did you see that? By the way, Did you read that Aaron Rodgers, who was in trouble in the news because he hinted that he was vaccinated, right? He said, I'm inoculated, and he made up some bullshit about his antibodies. So he's hinting that he did get vaccinated. He didn't. He said, I'm not some flat earther anti-vax guy. I'm just not into the vaccine. Oh, okay. All right. It seems a little anti, but okay. He got some of the business. His doctor, I just saw, is able to blow himself. The doctor said that legally he's so okay. All right. Joe Rogan said, and that's where Aaron Rodgers got his advice from. Joe Rogan said that he is flexible enough to literally blow himself.
That's impressive. At the age of, he's like 50, right? So you lose your flexibility over time. So,
oh my God. Yeah.
Right. I mean,
now you've seen everything under the sun, Kevin. Could he blow himself?
Oh yeah. There are some people who can, but here's the question. Like, can you blow yourself gratifyingly? You know what I mean? Like, can you get, because an actual blowjob takes an amount of effort and movement, and there's a difference between like just being able to, just barely get your mouth there and
forgetting that you have a dick in your mouth. Yeah, I hear you.
That is interesting. So maybe he can only edge himself, but it still counts. Like,
right.
Would he count the job that he does if his wife was doing it that way?
He does look like he's always on the edge, right? Mm-hmm. Doesn't he?
It's so impressive. Yeah, I wonder how deep. Now I'm picturing him blowing himself. Great. Good for me.
I could suck my own dick if I wanted to, he said.
Does he mean figuratively?
Say that again?
Does he mean figuratively?
No, because he says I'm super flexible. I've never done it, but I put it around my face just to know I can do it. I'm not gay.
Oh my God.
But I can be.
Oh my God. Insanity.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I simply don't believe it. It's hard as hell to do.
Yeah.
He seems more thick than flexible, but okay, I never trained with him.
But martial arts has, like, if you are even a little flexible, martial arts will stretch you out.
Okay. And then the dick went around his cheek and he didn't even go to lick it because he's not into that. But he could. He just went to see if he could. It's down by his throat, but out of his mouth. He could. Never tried it, not tell anybody. Never. Come on, something's going on. I'm getting the run around and I don't like it.
Why not put it in your mouth? Really? Why not? It's right there. It's right there.
Because he's not doing it. That's why. That's
because
weird.
Because that's the weird part.
I just smack it on my cheek. I do that painful process of putting the legs over my head that I could choke myself because I'm 300 pounds of muscle. But I'm not going to give it I'm just going to smack me. I don't believe it.
Different people are into different things. Maybe he likes a good dick smacking on his face.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But no, because he's not going to do anything to make him seem like a bitch. So he can't smack himself too hard either. He just likes it resting there. Like, I like to know.
Mm-hmm.
I would absolutely suck my dick because I have fantasies of, like, switching bodies and then doing all the things like peeing outside and whatever it is.
That's
if
good.
I could you don't want to know what it's like to suck a dick. And then you can, like, give people your wife advice or like a little empathy, perhaps.
This is gross.
Right.
Yeah. Also, like, what could it taste like? It tastes like any other part. It tastes like... Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say, I get why he's taking that horse medicine now. Okay, I didn't know the whole story. He is a fucking horse. All right.
You think he's just afraid of, like, accidentally finishing in his own mouth?
I'm that good that when as soon as I touch my dick, I'd explode. I'm that good. There's nothing this guy doesn't know and can't do. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe he's used to orgasming and biting down, and this is a tough choice to make.
He orgasms weird. When he orgasms, he has to be punching a moose in the face. Something's up. And we're open here, right, Kevin? We're open people. Do what if it's not hurting.
Absolutely.
But it seems like it's hurting the moose. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what he's doing with this elk, but I'm seeing too many pictures.
What was the question? when the answer was I could
honestly none. He's with a group of guys doing a podcast, the regular comedians, and all of a sudden, like he like throws it out there.
Oh,
yeah. Hey, I can blow myself. They're like, oh, what? Like, I'm just saying I could. You've done it? No. I'll just see if I could. Okay. Okay. It's weird. I don't. Something's missing. I don't like it, and he's the one who brought it up.
Kevin, you're our expert. Is this homophobia? Is it freak phobia? Is it both? Is it more than that? Is it shame?
It sounds like there's a little bit of homophobia wrapped up in it. I mean, I have seen porn of guys who can do that, you know,
right.
But not, but it very much just like the tip. You know what I mean? Like not in a way where it's, you know, clear that they're able to like really, like you said, give themselves necessarily like a blowjob to orgasm. Right. So yeah, like it's very curious. There's so, like you say, there is a piece missing there.
Yeah. I don't like to be bamboozled. You know, I was reading about Governor Andrew Cuomo. He was a former governor. He was governor here in New York, and they found out he was, never mind all the deaths that he lied about in old age homes. What's more important that he was grabbing a bunch of ass and he was lying about. And then I see like he used to be referenced as the love gov. Like, you know, that means he gave himself that name. Nobody said that, you fucking creep. You couldn't help yourself. Under questioning in the state attorney general office's probe into accusations against him, Cuomo entered into a semantic discussion about the phrase girlfriend. This is from a transcript on July 17th. How do you want to define girlfriend? Cuomo told an interrogator when asked if a woman was his former girlfriend. Right there. Lock him the fuck up. I know. And I'll explain it in more detail. But anytime you see these tricksters on TV, do this, even Clinton. Yeah. When he's like, no exaggeration. Did I get this blowjob? What is it? What is? What are words? What you're locked up? You're locked up. Because we gave you an English test before you got in, so you're lying. You know what words are. You've given speeches. Clinton probably has some of the best speeches out there. You know words, you weirdo.
We had the whole nation debating whether a blowjob was sex. And it's like, what? Come on.
Yeah, I come home and I tell Kai it was just a blowjob. And I go, baby, there's a debate out there. Like, we all know the truth. Why do we got to play dumb when it comes to politics? Because our team is represented, I guess.
Yeah. Exactly. And then, the greatest was, depends on what the meaning of the word is.
Yeah. The questioner responded by asking Cuomo if he had dated the woman Lisa Shields. And Cuomo asked, how do you want me to define date? Lock him. I hate this guy now. I look, those people, they were going to
know what all the people who try to date these assholes feel like right now. You know, I don't know, Kevin, if you get this fucking line of bullshit, but it's a story that has been told on a lot of rom-coms. Oh, do you want to be my boyfriend? What is a boyfriend? Because I feel like we're doing everything. What's the difference between a boyfriend and what we're doing now? You know what? Probably respect. And it seems like you're lacking that. And that should be a red flag to me. But instead it's a fucking rom-com.
Right.
Look, the old people were going to die anyway. Little grab ass in the office who hasn't been there. But this is too fucking much. This is a slap in the American people's face. I'll go to my earlier question. Was she your girlfriend? You don't understand that question? Like, you got to be so frustrated looking around. He doesn't know the word girlfriend.
Maybe he's trying to get temporary insanity or full insanity or I don't know. Because now, does that come up on your job interviews? Like, hey, I know how to do this. And it's like, well, you didn't know what the word boyfriend is. So we have to like put you in a different position, sir.
He says, well, girlfriend means different things to different people.
Oh, come on.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
He at one point defined the term girlfriend as a friend who is a girl.
Right. Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about someone you date or have relations with, the woman said. And Cuomo said, have relations? Kiss. You kiss. You go on dates. Would you go on dates? Did you kiss her? Cuomo goes, did I kiss her? Yes, there was a period of time that I kissed her. He acknowledged joining her for activities too. She is a woman who was a friend who I did see romantically for a period of time. That's a lot of words for not knowing words. If you define girlfriend as a woman friend who you see romantically for a period of time, was Lisa Shields a girlfriend of yours? And Cuomo said, if that is your definition, yes. This is my dad. I want everybody to know, if you didn't get it before, this is my dad. Maybe that's why it's so frustrating. But it's so stupid when you see these, I don't know, politicians who's trying to trick you. I'm not deep diving into much. But you can tell when somebody's just trying to trick you with non-words. Ted Cruz is one of these to me. Maybe I wouldn't know how disgusting he was if he just didn't double talk in the face trying to twist things around. You're arrested. They say this stupid shit like we don't know anything. Maybe this kid didn't just go from one state to another state to shoot people. Maybe he wanted to help businesses, right? Like Lori Kilmartin pointed out. What 17-year-old doesn't want to go to another state and help a business stay protected? You know, that's what all the kids are talking about. Then they say stupid shit on TV, these politicians, and they get home and they're wondering why their teenage son is treating them like an idiot. Like, I smell weed. Maybe the smell came from outside. What is weed? And they're like, no, I act stupid on TV. We're not stupid in this house.
This came up in this movie I was watching just last night. This movie, Magnolia. This guy is dying of cancer and his wife asks him the question, did you molest our daughter? And he says, I don't know. And she says, okay. You deserve to die alone. And she leaves right. It's like, okay, no, you answered the question. You don't know.
I mean, how did Cuomo get anything done? He's going to be, when you say vaccine, that can mean different things to different people. I mean, he seemed to know words during those morning meetings during the beginning of the pandemic, but he lost them all.
You know, it's so beautiful to go over this on the news because it's triggering in your personal life, the red flags that you miss because you're trying to be kind or you're trying to get a full story from someone who will never give it to you. And you go around in circles and circles. Such a good reminder where it's like, if somebody asks you, have you ever molested this kid? And you go, oh my God. Like,
right.
Oh my God. You have to think about it. What's your thought process as you're thinking about it? Like, what just crossed your mind? Like, could that have been,
And you know who falls for this shit? The thinkers, right? The smarter people that are like, maybe he just doesn't know his words all of a sudden. Maybe, you know, let me help him try to figure it out. It's like, well, that's something you ask on a first date, by the way. You're looking for things to talk about anyway. Say, hey, do you know words? You know, ask that. And then 2 years later, don't be surprised when they can't give you a straight answer if they fucked your friend or not.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The problem is I don't know, at least when you're female, if you're on a date with a guy, when you ask for so many words, like definitions, it feels needy and pushy. Like, hey, well, like, where are we going with this is now like a trigger question sort of thing. And that could be, and I think that could be too soon on a first date, but also just soon enough. What would you like out of this? I'm not asking you to sign anything. And then it becomes this thing of, oh, now I got to talk. And that should be a red flag. Don't you want to know what I want from you? I'm asking you right now, but I don't know that a lot of people can handle it.
Stop doing people so many favors like this. It's nuts. Speaking about nuts, can I talk about the lawnmower 4.0, Henda? This is a little shaver I have. Real tiny. You can take it with you, go wherever you want. There's a little airport security thing so it doesn't buzz in your bag, you know, accidentally. It looks like you got a dildo or something. I love it. I never used to shave my balls before. Now it's like zzz, 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 zzz. Look, and then my girlfriend's like, that's pretty badass. And we bang. I think it's fantastic. Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. And by the way, I'll say it again. That's how disgusting men are. Okay. They have to get to version 4.0. You're an animal down there. They have the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer. Think of these names. You're disgusting. You're disgusting. Let's see. And Crop Reviver Toner. Crop Reviver. Nice. Performance Boxer Briefs. They do the work. And a travel bag so you're not, stumbling and bumbling all over the place. Let's see. What else? 4000K LED spotlight. I like turn it on. It's a show. You can do it in the dark where nobody's looking. Surprise them in the morning. 9,000 RPMs. Yeah, that'd be sweet. I think I'd put that in a lawnmower. 360-degree rotary dual blade system. What? I don't know. Okay. Look, be clean. You want your partner to be clean? You be clean too. It's a little disgusting down there. Make it nice. Get 20% off plus free shipping with code KATG20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with code KATG20 at manscaped.com. Be thankful this holiday season. You take down your pants and you're in front of your lady and you're like, are you thankful? Be thankful this holiday season for the best gift of all from Manscaped. They say your balls will thank you. Yeah, I used to be so hairy I wouldn't know what they're saying down there. But now, bells. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, speaking of balls, Andy Dick is in the news.
Oh no!
What? How do you know? He was giving out turkeys in East Harlem.
Oh,
no! Right. He was breaking a bottle on someone's head. Andy.
Oh, jeez.
Andy Dick was arrested for domestic battery. Did you ever work with him? Being two genius sketch performers.
Yes, and he has been on Risk a few times, but we kind of cut it off after he said something very racist at an evening of Risk in Los Angeles.
To a person on stage or like telling a story?
To a person in the audience, no less. Yeah. And the state, we once appeared on a show with him, and I'll never forget that night because they had us all in like one hotel room and everyone kept waking up because Andy Dick was trying to molest everyone in the room during their sleep. Yeah, it was crazy.
This is so weird because I watched the show Love and he's in it playing himself, and he plays an addict and he plays someone who, goes to AA, but then
you
relapses.
Say play himself. You don't mean he calls himself Andy Dick, or do you?
Yes, he's playing Andy Dick.
Oh, Jesus.
Like this is Andy Dick. Oh, the famous Andy Dick in our regular lives sort of thing. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays an addict, and then he's talking to someone outside of an AA meeting, but about his addiction. And he's like, oh, this, that, and the next. He goes, so I got drunk and I don't remember what happened, but I probably got molested. Yeah. And I'm thinking like, I think he has that reputation and they wrote that into the script.
And he said it.
Yeah. And now Kevin is talking about how he got molested. I don't want to call it molesty, because that makes it cute. But he was trying to get in. What did people do? What was their reaction?
You would just hear over the course of the night people being like, Andy, get out of here. You know what I mean?
Andy.
Yeah. He is interesting case of someone who has kind of used his tendency to relapse as almost, I don't know, kind of a joke, and so he goes back and forth all the time, and then ends up in the news again whenever he does.
Was the racial thing, was that the N word or something different?
No, Asian. It was aimed at Asian folks.
Oh, no.
And just like kind of like everyone like involved was like, what?
Is the show Love trying to out him, do you think, by adding lines like, is it Chris D'Elia and you? Where I have a theory that the producers knew that Chris D'Elia was fucking underage girls in real life and drugging them and whatnot. And then girls come out saying, no, I was drugged. I was raped. Here's a picture of my bedroom. Then he saw, look at it. I'm a fucking child. I had to be told that.
I understand what you're saying because it reminds me of that. It's you as a character. You're playing you and you're playing the moves that you would make as well, as if they are part of a script. So, but I think if you're hiring your friends. There's a lot of people who have worked together on other projects and other shows that I've seen. So, and it's Judd Apatow. So, I think he's hiring the people he wants to work with. I think he has a lot of say in that department. And when he produces something, I think he is in charge. He's not just doing it like that. I think with the nature of the show being very dialogue-y, I wonder if he improv'd that line and it went well with his character, who does shitty things when he's drunk and just in general is a fuck up. And they kept it in because it went with the script. But how weird is that? So I think if anything, he outed himself. But, I'm speculating. I don't know. Based on what I know about the characters and the people involved, that's all I can get. But wow.
Andy Dick was arrested for domestic battery yesterday after he smacked a bottle of liquor over his boyfriend's head. Cops arrested the comedian, 55, at his LA area home for domestic battery. He posted a $50,000 bond 3 hours later. Fairly recently, I saw him on Twitter. He's like, hey, can you guys lend me some money? And I'm like, I don't think this is performance art. But he had $50,000 for bail. In October, or, whatever, I guess it goes down to. How's that work? What's bail? 10%, 20%? In October, he was busted when he allegedly hit his boyfriend in the face with a frying pan.
Oh my God, he's not afraid to kill this dude. That's a buckle on your head.
Does it mention his boyfriend's name?
No, not here. I guess it can't be hard to find, but no, not here. In July, he was arrested for assault with a deadly weapon after attacking a former lover with a metal chair. In 2019, Dick was charged with groping a driver from a ride-hailing service. He was also axed from an indie movie in 2017 after groping cast and crew members. He denied those claims, but admitted, quote, I might have kissed somebody on the cheek to say goodbye and then licked them. I guess that's what I did. Yes, Cuomo. I might have licked the cheek. Is that what it's about, licking the cheek?
This sounds exactly like him as the character. I probably was molesty. He knows he ruins things and then he calls it something cute. That's another language thing where it's like, molesty when you're saying things, and I understand that some things are very uncomfortable to talk about, so you speak about them in a funny tone or a funny way to start. But I don't think that was the first time he ever said that.
Right. Or like that's your brand. Like this kind of feels to me like Ron Jeremy, where it's like, got away with for years it just being his brand, that he's beyond the boundaries and all that kind of thing. And it's just like after a while, I think it'll catch up to you.
This is another grab him by the pussy. So Andy Dick will be our next president.
Mm-hmm.
You say things, you can walk up to people and you can do that. And that is the experience that Andy Dick has. He knows he can do that. Did the cast of The State say anything to anyone?
No. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's not really being reported. Now it's being retweeted, and now it's in the news, but it took a lot of people saying molesty, I think, for a while.
I don't know. I guess these people think they're so clever. I don't know. It's weird to say. If I was this molester, you see, I think I'd be smart enough not to go on a TV show where I talk about molesting. But maybe you can't help it. You think you're so clever. You
can't help it. And you're also disturbed. So this is how you're disturbed. Your own brain is working against you constantly. Just because they're getting away with it, it doesn't mean they're like relaxed in their head. Sometimes they are. The real high end sociopath, like that have complete no empathy. But even they, I don't know. You have like a lot disturbing what's supposed to be right. Then there's the theory I have that people take these roles to confuse the public so they can say, it's a TV show. Right. Oh, you're really molesty when you blackouts? That was TV, weirdo. Oh, you Crystalia, you drug and fuck underage girls. You mean in Netflix, that dopey show You? Yeah, I did it in You fucking weirdo. And I saw some defendants like that on social media at the time. It's a TV show, idiot. Like, well, okay. So is that a deliberate trick with any of them? I don't know. Anyway, they called his Dick's management to get a story, and the guy picked up the phone, said hello, and they said, "Did Andy Dick?" And the management said, "Probably." Click.
I'm just
no,
kidding.
come on. Okay. Okay. I'm like, all right, we've gone too far. Something's okay. And by the way, I doubt his actual last name is Dick. He just thinks it's funny.
That's why you want to do it. You keep taking it out. You run through Montauk naked with it. I'm reading. Yeah. You might as well make it part of your name. Make it clear.
He must be so charismatic because he finds himself in that party scene in friendly atmospheres, or at least party friends atmospheres. He finds himself in with crowds at work. He gets work where work is, I'm only hiring the people I want to work with. You have so much of a choice. Hollywood only hires like 5 actors, and every once in a while they throw Andy Dick in. It's so interesting. Is he that great an actor?
He does impressions, I guess. I remember the Ben Stiller show was great. So, you know. Oh, well. Oh, boy. Andy. What's it? Is he so fun to talk to, Kevin? Like that the guy can take frying pans and bottles over his face?
Oh, I think
conversationalist.
I think that he's super charming and can be really fun, and just has that reputation of being like, oh, he, the life of the party and all that kind of thing. Yeah. But everyone has a story about how, he seemed to be getting sober. So I, agreed to let him stay at my place or whatever. And then, eventually they're like,
I did say it was a bottle of wine, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why's that there? Oh, well.
Wow, being hit on the head with a bottle of wine.
No, that's rough.
You sleep on the couch that night, right?
Oof.
Oh.
Damn.
All right, let me tell you guys about a fun podcast I'm hearing about, okay? May I? It's called Operator. All right? Now listen to this. In the 90s, ads for phone sex lines could be seen everywhere.
I remember that.
Flickering on late night cable channels and printed on the back of magazines. Phone sex operators worked around the clock to fulfill fantasies, if you know what I mean. It all started with an idea from this guy at this place and that guy at that place. Okay. And then a bunch of weird shit happened based on all this shit, FBI, et cetera, et cetera. So download this podcast and hear all about it. Okay. Follow Operator on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or you can listen early and ad free by subscribing to Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app. So get the Wondery Plus and check out Operator, because I made it sound fun. I'm looking at words like telnet. Somebody's known as the Bill Gates of phone sex. Come on. You're not going to like this podcast. You think you're better than that podcast. Sex. FBI. All right. You're welcome for that. I just wanted everybody to know. New Risk show is coming up here in New York City, right? The 17th.
Yeah. Wednesday, 7 p.m. at Caveat.
Are all, I just have to ask so everybody's comfortable. Are all races welcome, Kevin?
Of course.
Okay, good. I heard things. Okay. Fantastic.
I'm also on a recent Risk.
Yes. Henda's on the one that we put out we would have put it out last Tuesday morning. And it's a story that you told, I think it's 2014.
That sounds right. We were at LA Podfest, so it was definitely ages ago.
Yeah, we were in a hotel, right?
Mm-hmm, yep.
And we were using little conference rooms for podcast recordings. So It was only like maybe, I don't know, 20 or 30 people in a little room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's so sweet. This was years ago. So he contacts me and he's like, hey, we've been reviewing some older stuff. And we came across your story about when you first gave a hand job. Anyway, how would you feel about this? Or, a version of this coming out? I could let you hear it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you love it. I love it. I don't need to hear about my first hand job again. Thank you.
Kevin doesn't want to relive it. She said, what do you mean by hand job?
I was ready. One spoiler. I was ready to pet it like it was a cat.
Yeah. We of course, when we run like old stuff, that's been sitting in the archives for a while, like a lot of times it's because it was someone labeled it, there might be audio problems or something like that. So we look back at these, and a lot of them are either we now know how to fix those audio problems, or we're like, wait, why was this marked that way? But what we found is we definitely have to rescreen those suckers for stuff that people might not say in 2021 that they might have said in 2014, as far as, like what's politically correct or whatever.
I mean, what if 5 months from now I'm pro borax? I remember doing this podcast called Ardent Atheist, and I'm an atheist. I'm giving my points of view, but for whatever reason, they didn't put up the show till like a year later. They got to it, and I'm like, well, what if I love God now?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Balls. Yeah,
exactly.
Anyways.
But anyway, it's a super fun story. It's so unexpected because like it's your family is kind of like encouraging you.
Well,
like, they're kind of setting you up to be kissing this boy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like my parents, like there was no point in my young or adult life where we were kind of encouraged to do anything like
Kevin, he was a Jew.
Right, exactly.
He wouldn't ask me to touch his dick. So obviously that's not what we're doing at age 15 in my room with the door closed. We're reading Bible verses, you pig.
It would be something
Surely.
subconsciously your mom's trying to get you hooked up with this guy. And like, if you look back, she was in the kitchen just jerking off a cucumber, just touching the light switch. Man, like, you've seen these magic shows where it's like, I tricked him. I whispered the number 7 in his ear once, and
please don't.
The whole plan came together. I don't know. I'm going to listen. We're going to find out.
Yes, please just do. I wonder, now that I think about it, was my mom vacuuming at the time? I will never. I don't know. I should ask her.
Are you dating now, Kevin? Tell me the scoop.
I am seeing a
what
few.
What is dating?
Right. I'm seeing a few different guys very casually.
Okay.
I'll tell you. There was a guy that I started seeing Labor Day weekend. Around that time, I took about like 2 weeks off of a little bit of a staycation. Met this fella, and we hit it off like physically amazingly. Like there was definitely a huge physical connection. But on my profile of the kink site where we first met, I explained I'm polyamorous. I'm very open about this. I like upfront communication about these kind of things. And then the night we met, I, kind of talked about just naturally all that sort of thing too, to make sure all that's very clear. And he was like, cool. And apparently, like, either he didn't understand the meaning, the definition of the word polyamorous, like we're saying, but like it started this process of, every day, every few hours, can I come over? Can I see you? Oh, who else are you seeing? What are these other guys? And there was just all of a sudden this incredible possessiveness and jealousy until there was one night that it became like I was afraid Fatal Attraction was happening, where he was screaming at me on the phone about how much hotter he was than these other guys that I had never even really told him anything about. And what finally got him to leave off was I gave him a bunch of my pot.
Do you have to sign? Does he have to sign papers or something?
I realized that he was always interested in sex or my pot. So I was like, let's just like be peaceful here and let bygones be bygones. I'll give you some of my pot. And he was like, I'm in a car right now on the way to your place to get it. I was like, okay, that can be it. So I gave him the pot. He gets in his car and drives away. And then he calls me and he's kind of ashen. He's like, this is a lot of pot you gave me. I wasn't quite expecting that much. And I was like, oh, I just wanted it to be a
mellow out, fuckface.
Yeah. No, I was
the goodbye pot.
I wanted it to be a peaceful way of ending things. And he was like, oh, so you're saying I'm not peaceful? And I was like, oh my God.
And then what do? You throw the weed like out the door and you have to get it like a dog and you slam it?
No, he was already on his way out. He already was driving.
I know.
Yeah,
How
he
do you
was
get
driving away. That was the point at which I was like, block him on everything.
Oh, he's driving away and he's texting you?
He called me again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's the breakup.
So yeah, if you're going to tell people that you're polyamorous, maybe make sure they understand the definition of that word.
We fucking understood. You said other words also that were synonymous with. How about like, and so when I see other people, like what polyamory is. But
I'm into polyamory. Are you cool with that? Yeah, I'll look into that later. We got to talk about that. Anyway, I'll be over tonight. We'll go on another day.
Also, he found the kink site, but he doesn't know what polyamory is.
Right.
I'm not saying everyone in the kink community is open to multiple partners, but you are a certain level of, I looked into sex in a different way, in a more open way.
Everybody knows
options.
But he would say
everybody.
He would say things like without my having told him about other people I was seeing, he would say the most bizarre things like, I'm much richer than them, I'm much hotter. And I'm like, these aren't like, I don't know if you understand, but that's not how it works. Like, I don't like go through a list of people I'm seeing and be like, well, this is the hottest one, this is the richest one. Like, oh my God, whatever, So yeah, that one didn't work. But otherwise, things are very peaceful and kind of pretty casual right now. Like there are like 4 different guys that I'm seeing, but in a very casual way where it might just be like once a month or once every 6 weeks or so that I'll see someone, and it's fine. It's nice. I'm not like going too crazy or anything like that. I just feel like the past 2 years have been so confusing and like I'm going through so many things therapeutically,
Is it maybe because like it got a little pandemic out there?
Yeah, exactly.
Isolate-ish.
Yeah. So it's nice to be making connections again, but
making up for lost time. You want to talk about beautiful? You put all these guys together, pretty handsome.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I have. I've discovered that I'm a good fisting top.
Good for you.
So that's a new area to.
That means you're the fister.
Yeah, but I'm also always like I'm reading up on it because I'm always worried about injuring someone.
Yeah, the organs.
Yeah.
How long does it? Because you have to put like your fingers first, and then you ball it into a fist, and then you're sort of in and out a little, right?
Exactly.
How long does that whole like from tip of the finger and to the anus to like an entire fist in the butt? What's an average time that this takes?
Half hour, I'd assume.
Yeah, let's take guesses. Wait, let's take guesses. Oh, he already said yes. Did you already agree to that? Half an hour sounds long. I would say 12 minutes. No, that's cool. 23 minutes.
Half hour, just easy, perverts. I just meant half hour getting your fingers in there.
It totally depends on who the person is, the size of their body, their the bone structure and everything. Like some people are just way too small or too tight, and I have big hands too, So I am perfectly happy with, and I explain this to everyone, that I'm in no rush and don't need to get my whole hand in there. And it can be very fun and enjoyable with just a few fingers. And, so
have you ever said during pillow talk, you have beautiful bone structure? My hand was up your asshole. I realized. No, I figured they'd like that. Thank you. That's sweet.
I did. There was a fella at a kink camp once who offered to fist me. And then I looked and I was like, okay, your hands are like the size of pumpkins. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was like, are you kidding me?
Are you lubing up your whole hand before or?
Yeah. Well, now here's the thing. The thing that drives me the fucking craziest is that fisting requires a different kind of lube. Yeah. And the one that is most preferred and most popular is
This is the best podcast ad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over J-Lube.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah. Frankly, it's not much of an ad because I hate the fucking stuff.
What is it? What kind?
It's called J-Lube. It's a powder that you then add water to. And so the whole idea is the reason
you got to cook first.
Yeah, exactly. Fisting, you want a lube that is slippery, but that stays on to some extent. That's both slippery and it kind of stays on the hand.
Kind of like a condom, right? Because the condom has to stay on, but it also has to give you a little less friction, right?
Exactly. Now, this shit, J-Lube, is literally what they used to be the green slime in Ghostbusters. So that should give you an idea of what I hate about it. What I hate about it is you remove your hand and there are 27 strings of this.
Stop it.
It's glue. It's like this gooey glue. And all of a sudden it gets all over everything and it gets on me and it's just all over the floor.
I'm going to, somehow this is going to get a little bit more invasive. Then aren't you picking up poop particles a little bit more?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Because just how, if you would put that on the wall, it wouldn't come out clean. It would pick up some stuff on the wall. Right.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be conscious about stuff like that. Like you can't, whatever batch of J-Lube you had, you should throw away.
No, I mean the inside. I assume you insist on enemas or something beforehand.
Well, it depends. It depends on, how that person's particular kinky preferences around all that kind of stuff. But
okay.
Yeah.
So when we do a mic check,
whoa. Oh, okay. 1 second. I'm slow over here. The kink is you like shit all over yourself. Is that what you're saying?
Some people might not mind, if it gets messy in that way. I mean, it's going to get messy no matter what.
Right. But that's a joy. That's a nice surprise.
I was trying to be subtle, Key.
Yeah.
But anyway, I am desperately trying to find alternates. I've already purchased one and I'm not quite sure if it works because I haven't tried it on anyone yet. But alternates to J-Lube because it's so sticky and gooey and gluey. And here's the thing. I like to get my face in a butt. Like I like to take little breaks from doing this activity and then, throw my face in there. So I've done that at kind of almost out of habit a couple of times when J-Lube was involved and, you pull your face away and it's just like
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah.
Insanity. Insanity.
Do you like shit on your face? Is that a nice bonus?
Well, as long as it's in, string that would, from pizza string. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Do you know Joe Rogan can fist himself up to his elbow?
Well, he's only 5'3", right?
He could put 2 fists up there and clap. You know that? Yeah.
Yeah, but with J-Lube or something else.
I don't know that. Oxblood.
Right.
All right. So here's what you do. You're going to see if you're in New York or you can make it to New York. Check out his. What's that?
If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
That's right.
You should have just kept reading. That's on you.
Check out the risk-show.com and also type in /tour and you'll see everything that's doing. And I also recommend the Risk book. It's very fun. Okay.
And you know what? If you're looking for a live show in New York, I think it is very difficult. I know that you have the big ones, the Broadway shows and things like that are very obvious when you're in New York, but it's these shows that are putting you in New York City. I feel like it's the reason why you're here, where you can go downtown and go down these stairs into what looks like used to be a where the place is.
Speakeasy.
Speakeasy. Yeah. And suddenly it's like there's a popcorn bar and a regular bar and everyone's vaccinated. And you hear these stories that you really just wouldn't. And the atmosphere is incredible. Everyone's ready to hear, it's so fun. If you are near or in New York City, you have to catch this show.
There you have it. Kevin, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, guys.
KeithAndTheGirl.com